Yeah, yeah. Fresh out the cell with a plan and a boo. Anklet beeping, but my heart's beating for you. Let's go. Met her on a prison pen pal site. She said you cute even in that orange light. Now I'm home and I'm free, kinda on probation. She picked me up in a Prius, pure elation. Got a teardrop tat and a heart full of dreams. She brought cupcakes and some government cheese. I said, girl, you a snack, maybe even a feast. She said, you just hungry cause you live with the beast. Love after lockup, wild and free. Got no keys, but she got the key to me. From yard time to FaceTime, look at us glow. From prison phone calls to reality show. Love after lockup, we don't play. Tinder got nothing on JPay. I did my time, now I'm doing hers. Doing laundry and love, both in spurts.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Love After Lockup, Locked Down, where we are covering Season 2, Episode 7. As always, you can find us in our Facebook group at Love After Lockup, Locked Down, or on Instagram at LALU Locked Down. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Lisa.
And this week we are covering Rings and Runaways. How are you today, Lisa?
I'm doing pretty good. Your watch went off and said that you have a tornado watch. Is there a tornado in the area?
No, they're just testing the sirens. I don't know if you'll be able to hear them behind. Can you hear them?
No, but it would follow suit with what happens when we record someone grinds your street or whatever, cutting down trees. Air conditionings are too loud because it's 90 degrees outside. Tornado watch,
It's
testing
always
the sirens.
it's always something around here. I am recording with the air off today in here, so hopefully it doesn't get too hot. I hope that all of our listeners appreciate the fact that I'm sitting recording this in a sauna.
I have mine on, but it's like a room away, so I think I'm okay. But it is really hot up here. Really hot, even with that on. I also feel like I just got kitty litter in my eye, like the dust, because it's burning.
Is the kitty in her litter?
See, he climbs up on this desk, and this is where I put his food and his water, and it's gonna have to change soon and then he leaves his little litter particles all over because he's got long hair and it gets stuck between his toes.
Oh,
I just shushed a piece off of the desk and then touched my eye, which is really smart. So I probably have pee and litter in my eye.
a PI.
What's wrong with your eye? Oh, I just got cat urine in it. It's
You get
fine.
pink
He's
eye from your cat.
fine.
We start this week out with Megan, Michael, and Sarah, and at this point, Michael has been out 2 weeks, and Megan is packing yet again to fly to Buffalo to see him.
Yeah. So I'm actually in Buffalo, so that's pretty cool. Well, I'm in a suburb of Buffalo. And he's got a surprise for her. We all know this. We all know what the surprise, well, we'll know what the surprise is later. But it starts with a D. And anyways, the friend Daniela says, "What if the baby mama is there?" I mean, that's fair.
That's a very fair question. I'm not worried about baby mama. Why? Why are you so
Mm,
confident?
At this point, I'd be like, okay, well, maybe in the world that she thinks she's in right now, that could be something you could stay, but she still doesn't know that they're married. So we'll see what happens and whether her tune changes.
That's a pretty big thing to find out.
Yeah.
She says that she's going to go even if he calls and tells her not to go.
Yep. I'm on board with that. Yeah. I would have gone the last time, honestly. I would have still gone.
I probably would have gone the first time. I don't know if I would have, but that would have been the thing to do is go, show up, find out what's going on, and end it right there.
Yeah, but at this point, he's still got her snowed and she doesn't realize what's actually going on because she says in one breath that she maybe doesn't trust him as much anymore, but then we clearly see that she does, or she's just ignoring all those red flags.
Right.
She's waiting for the rock on her finger before she actually tells her parents,
Which
which
is smart.
is, yeah.
The first smart thing she's done so far.
Yeah.
Michael and Sarah are going shopping for a new ring.
Yeah, this isn't going as she expects. They're trying on rings and it looks, oh, like it's okay at first, but then we see it all kind of fall apart. And really, no rings are purchased in the end. And while he's in the shop shopping for rings with his wife, Megan calls him and then he sends it to voicemail.
Right.
Okay, I get it. But how messed up is that?
I the stuff Michael has done, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know how he thought he was going to get away with any of it, or what he thought the end game was in all this.
He said he plans on marrying Megan, and I'm like, well, okay, well, do you plan on divorcing Sarah first? Because that's not legal. You live in New York State. It's not legal. And I don't think it's legal where she's from either. I don't think sister wife is legal where either of them live.
Yeah, I don't think it's legal anywhere.
Um, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Is polygamy maybe legal in some of the southern states?
I don't think so, but I don't know for sure.
I mean, you can always do it on the DL.
Right, yeah. Sarah tells the lady at the jewelry store, and I just have to throw this in, that they got married while he was in prison.
Yep. You always got to tell that shop person, whether it be a jeweler, a florist,
A receptionist.
bartender, receptionist at the gas station, whatever. Always got to out your whole life because I mean, of course, they're going to be like, no big deal. That's normal. No, they're going home and they have a story for the dinner table.
So guess what happened to me today at work?
Yep.
Michael says once he secures his relationship with Aviana, then he'll tell Sarah about Megan. No part of me believes that's to be true.
I don't believe that he's going to tell her. I think that he's going to hold this off for as long as humanly possible. And like we said, he really only has about a year that he could actually hold this off before this this show comes out. The
Right.
second season. I mean, I don't. We actually don't know the recording time frame, but I mean, I would assume it's like a year, right?
I've
Where it's
seen it.
going to get.
Yeah. I've seen it
Hmm.
suggested that it's about a year.
Hmm. So you can only get away with it for so long. That year is going to come up. What's he gonna do? He's gonna be like, "Yeah, we were on this show together, but I don't. You can't watch it. You can't watch it. You can't tell your
Right.
family about it. You can't tell your friends about it. It's a show that is you can probably have access to from around the entire globe, but she's never gonna find out."
We know you can watch it in Chile. So,
Shout out Chile.
shout
Thanks.
out to Chile.
Yep, we're one of the top podcasts in Chile, which isn't saying much.
Just in the one little group, the TV and movie group, but that's okay.
Yeah.
They got married on Friday the 13th, which could have been an omen.
Yeah. I would have chosen a different day.
Yeah.
We end it with Megan talking to her dad, and he's clearly not happy. And man, I'd be scared of that dad. I've before. He's a scary guy looking like he's a big dude.
He is a big dude, and he's like, I hope he stands you up. And I was like, oh my goodness. He is not playing around.
No,
I don't blame him. Like,
no, I don't. Not at all.
jeez.
I don't think that the meeting between Michael and Dad's gonna go well if that ever happens.
Little Michael and Big Dad, that would be an interesting thing to see. Next up are Caitlin and Matt is outside drinking.
Yeah, resting. He's on his leisurely release from prison and he needs a break, all that time in prison doing nothing. You get out, you got to relax. Meanwhile, mom's inside doing their laundry and she says, I'm doing laundry for 30-year-olds and I'm a supportive mom but not a maid. And now we're starting to see mom getting pissed,
Right.
and I like it.
Well, you feel like it's not just him who's taking advantage of her, which seems to be kind of the case for many years, how it's been. But now that Caitlin has come into the dynamic, it's her also living off of him, and she's not her child.
No, and if I were Caitlin, I would be doing everything in my power to earn my keep in that house. That
Right,
woman would not be touching my laundry or Matt's laundry.
right,
And I would be helping her cook, helping her clean, doing whatever I can, especially because Caitlin is also unemployed.
right.
What the hell is your lazy ass doing besides taking full advantage of this woman?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's mad that he won't get a job, but she doesn't have one either.
Yeah. Yeah, it's what you're complaining, but you're just as bad. You're just as bad. She's between jobs. Okay, Caitlin, you mean that you're not looking for a job and you don't plan on it because right now you're getting a free ride. Caitlin says the honeymoon is over. You think? It's always over within the first couple weeks, always. Sometimes sooner.
I think in these stressful situations when you're going through all of this, the fighting comes because people think they know each other and they know each other from afar, but being together, living together is a whole different ball game.
Yeah, there's something to be said about the fact that, yes, I know a lot of these couples have actually seen each other and met face to face, but it is very, very, very brief. There's got to be a huge difference between a couple, say they even live uh, a distance away, or either it's a long distance relationship and they met a few times or they meet here and there. They're not spending 15 minutes together. They're spending a whole day, a weekend, whatever. That's a huge difference.
Right.
A huge difference. And also, it's not like they have unlimited time to call, text, Facebook, whatever. It's very limited. So these people are acting as if they know these people. They're the love of my life. They're my soulmate. Really? Really? What leads you to that conclusion?
She says she wants to go on a date, but he says they don't have any money. I don't know what she thinks. Like, where is he supposed to get the money from to take her out? But also, I do feel like he could take her on a picnic or something like that, and that would also be satisfactory. So I don't know that she's necessarily asking for an expensive date out as much as just take me out on a date.
Yeah, and we're in the time also where you can do side gigs. If neither of them has a job right now, we definitely know Caitlin has a license. There's Uber, there's Uber Eats, there's Lyft, there's DoorDash, there's Instacart. There's all these jobs she could be doing while searching for a job and making at least some pocket change so where you can like afford things like a date, food. I mean, Matt's mom is also feeding them too.
Who's paying for their cigarettes? Because if you have no job, like you still have to, and Caitlin's still going to need tampons and lady supplies, and it costs money to live. And if you do not have a job, where is all this stuff coming from?
Yeah, isn't it funny that you have no income yet anyone who smokes always finds a way to get a vape or a pack of cigarettes. It's hysterical because that's a necessity. You don't
I
need milk
always
or
did.
butter or bread.
Yeah, when I was smoking, I always found a way to get them.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Matt likes it better at home than in prison, even though Caitlin thinks that he liked it in prison better. Well, of course he likes it at home because, as we're saying, he doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to work. He doesn't have to do his laundry. He doesn't have to clean, cook. He can just sit and drink. Who bought that alcohol? Not Matt, not Caitlin, mom.
right.
You know? So this is the life. He's 28 and Caitlin's 30. There's no excuse for this.
It's time to grow up.
Hmm.
Next up, Clinton Tracy. She is 3 hours late to the wedding, and
I call
he.
bullshit on that.
Which part?
On the 3 hours, and I have it in my notes, and we'll get there. But I call bullshit.
I also think that it was either cleverly edited or that she wasn't actually as late as she was because he says that he's standing there and she's 3 hours late. And then the pastor comes and meets him. The pastor's not going to wait around for 3 hours.
And the pastor didn't show up 3 hours late because at that point the pastor hadn't gotten there yet, and Clint's already saying that Tracy is 3 hours late. So then why did the pastor just show up as Tracy's 3 hours late?
Yeah.
Come on. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It's just this, they needed to show some drama.
Some inconsistencies here in the story. The pastor does
Mhm.
say, like, you sure she's coming, right? But that could be 15 minutes. It could be 20 minutes. It doesn't mean it's been 3 hours.
Yeah, they don't get paid hourly. They get paid a fee that you pay ahead of time and then you give them a tip after. He is not going to sit there and wait for 3 hours, which we add on an additional 1 hour because then Clint says, say it's 4 hours.
Right.
So, mhm. I mean, I would say that a pastor might wait 45 minutes to an hour, might. But there may be something in his clause saying that if I'm over this amount of hours, you have to pay extra. But I would say I would believe the hour over the 4 hours.
I don't believe 4 hours. But are they in a restaurant? Where are they?
I don't
It looks like a
figure it
skating
out.
rink inside of a bar, and I cannot figure out what's happening.
Like it's definitely a bar, but it looks like it's inside like a pole barn or something. It's weird.
It's
Or
so weird.
like a big giant exhibition building that you'd see at like a fairground or something. Oh no. And Clint says, women, you know how long it takes them to get to get ready.
Right.
God, I didn't realize and I must have missed this. He's got Tracy's tattoo on his left forearm, Tracy's name.
I think that's new. Like, I don't know if he just got it since she got out or he's had it for a while because he didn't mention it at all. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I also got her name tattooed. When did you do that? Did you just
Yeah, I
forget
thought
about
I
that?
missed it. I thought I missed it. I was like, "Did we miss this?" But I guess since you didn't see it either,
No.
I wrote Tracy comes in finally, and her dress fits. Although I think
Sort
it's
of. I that dress for okay, all I could my brain was just screaming, you had over $500 to buy a dress and this is what you chose. This is what you came back with. The slit comes like up to her.
it looks like a prom dress. I will say it does look like a prom dress, and it fits, but it's ill fitting. And she's wearing a regular bra with it, which you can see from the back, and it's that same purple bra that we saw her in the hotel room. And it's like you have full access to money, and you're not wearing a strapless bra or a bra with clear straps or something like that. I mean,
Do you think that she even knows that that's an option? Like, I mean,
I mean, I would have been concerned about it. It just looks a little big in the back, and I don't know. It's what I wasn't shocked. I wasn't overwhelmed. I wasn't underwhelmed. I just thought she looked better.
she did look better.
It wasn't a wedding appropriate dress. It was mom of the bride appropriate. It was wedding guest appropriate. It might even have been bridesmaid appropriate. Definitely prom, but it was not a wedding dress. Even though you can get married without a traditional wedding dress, but that was not appropriate for a wedding dress.
I just would have thought that she would have chosen something better. That's all.
Yeah.
And so they exchange their vows, they get married, and she goes, finally! They've known each other for 6 months. What do you mean, finally?
Oh, after that long, arduous 6 months.
Right.
Finally. See, it was 6 months and 4 hours to the penny. They read their personal vows, and all he keeps saying is how beautiful she is. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
this is your whole basis of this wedding. And honestly, I don't see what he's seeing because if I were interested in women, that's not my my idea of beautiful or a goddess.
But even if you saw somebody who you thought was the most attractive person in the world, that doesn't mean that they can do and say and be whoever they want to be, even if it's not fitting and healthy for you. I mean, you can't be with a toxic person just because you're attracted to them.
Yeah, and this is what's going on here. They call each other soulmates, and we've heard this umpteen amounts of times out of the mouths of everyone on these shows. And she was saying, which I found very funny, that the women in prison would say to her, "What if he's a serial killer?"
Right.
And I guess that's something I would probably question as well.
She jokes with him about being late and if he thought she ran off with all of his money. And it was, to me, it was uncomfortable because he's like, ha, no, I totally knew you were going to show up. And I'm sure in his own way, he believed that she was going to show up no matter what.
Yeah, I know that a lot of this was for show. He knew she was gonna, well, I don't know. He did give her his cards and stuff. We know at this point he probably did give her the rental car as well. We'll talk more about that later. I guess it wasn't the best choice for him to just give her money and stuff and just be like, here, knowing what we know about her.
Right. So after they get married, he carries her to the car. And then we cut to Brittany and Marcelino, and he is bringing her breakfast.
She's saying how they didn't have any fresh food items in prison. You should see what the prison food was like. Yeah, I mean, well, we say that women typically gain a lot of weight in prison, and the men sometimes get fit because they're working out and stuff, but women, for some reason, I don't know if they don't have access to weights in a gym and an outdoor area where they can play basketball, or they just don't want to. I don't know. I mean, it would be in my nature just to just eat myself to death.
Well, that's what I was thinking because we talked about that. I was like, I wonder what it would be like, which direction I would go. Would I want to just work out all the time or just eat and then get out and go on my 600-pound life?
Yeah, I'm probably not working out because I'm depressed as hell and I'm just gonna eat. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna eat. And then because you're eating garbage and then eating snacks and whatever else you can get your hands on, you're not gonna be slim.
right.
So many women, almost everyone so far, just gains weight in prison. I mean, I've heard it from people that aren't on this show. So
It makes sense, though. Brittany still hasn't told him about seeing Amanda, which we know would really upset him for a variety of reasons. And I feel like his reasons are legitimate and that it's not an unreasonable concern.
he's and her son's 3. I we kept like getting his age wrong. Marcelino said he is super excited to meet Giovanni, but he's a little bit leery of how he's going to be as a stepdad because he didn't have good experiences with his stepdad. He didn't have a good stepdad, and he didn't even have a good regular dad.
Right.
So he's understandably concerned, but you don't have to follow in footsteps. You don't, if you're going to repeat behaviors done to you that were negative, then you need help, you know?
Right.
And Marcelino seems at this point to me, he's gotten a little unstable. I don't know if you agree.
I think he's got some anger issues that he needs to get a hold of one way or another. And that's concerns me because she's already faced so many people who have let her down in her life. And you don't want him to be another.
Yeah, I see alarm on her face, but I also see someone who's used to this sort of stuff.
Right.
And I'm just like, at some point, you got to stop accepting this sort of behavior and treatment and be your own person. And I mean, the stuff she says makes sense, but then in the next breath, she's still going forward with this relationship. I see her noticing this stuff and she says things, but I don't see her stopping or being like, okay, this isn't right. Um, she says, don't compare yourself to your dad or your stepdad. Exactly. You're not them. You're not, you're a different person. You don't have to be them. She didn't realize that he's scared of being a father. See, these are all things you would have and should have known ahead of time.
Right. Especially if you already have a young child.
Hmm.
Gio was only one when she went into prison. So she's been gone most of his life.
Yeah. She said she's gonna make it so that she's never like her mother, but you've not done a very good job so far. So you've got a lot of making up to do. And I believe she's going to. I believe it in my soul. I believe it that she's not going to be like her mother. I see that she's ready to change for the good.
She does seem like she's ready. She's finally ready to make the change she needs to have a better life for her son and for herself.
Hmm.
Next, we're back to Megan, Michael, and Sarah, and Megan arrives in Buffalo and is picked up by a driver. Where in the hell did Michael get money for this?
Exactly. Exactly. It could be he had side things because we did see that he's a rapper. He could have earned money. He could have had a savings account. He could have had some money set aside. We don't know. We don't know. Could have got money from Sarah. I hope not.
I hope not.
So, Megan arrived at the airport in Buffalo, New York, and Sarah is from Farmington, New York, which is actually Rochester. It's about an hour and a half from Buffalo. Megan said that she wants to get out of the travel clothes, and boy, does she ever.
Right out of him. Sarah and Michael are still at the jewelry shop, but Michael tells the camera that he has outgrown Sarah.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
I mean, he is. I'm not going to argue that. He makes me so mad.
Michael's telling Sarah things like she's picky and they're fighting over the ring. And Michael says that he doesn't want to be basic because he feels like if they give each other rings, that's being basic. And we all know that this is not why Michael is actually saying this and giving Sarah a hard time about a ring. He doesn't want to wear a ring. He doesn't want Sarah to be a ring. He doesn't want to be married to Sarah because we see him wanting to give Megan a ring, you
Well,
know.
he says he's got to pick a fight with Sarah so that he can get away from her. So he has an excuse to get away from her so he can go see Megan. And so he uses this as the opportunity, like, oh, I know she wants a ring, so I'm going to gaslight her into feeling like it's her fault. Just, I can't stand him.
He feels like Sarah is being selfish. Okay, yeah, she's being super selfish. She's raised your child while you're in jail, and
Right.
she's being super selfish to just ask for something as simple as a freaking ring. And Aviana, this whole time that they're fighting in the car about the ring, still is just trying to get Sarah's attention and Michael's attention, and they're completely ignoring this kid.
Yep. She's in the back screaming the whole
Yeah,
time.
she's just screaming, "Mommy, mommy," and they're just like totally ignoring her while they're fighting, and that's super healthy. And we know that Michael is going to see Megan today. Like we said, he needed to pick a fight and he's going to go see her. He's using this as his out.
Next up is Clint and Tracy, and he says even death won't separate them.
Yeah, he just keeps talking about death till death do this and "I'll love you till I die" and whatever. And he tells Tracy that they have to make love on their wedding night. I don't think that was in question here. I
I,
don't think that
that
was
was
a
a
concern.
really weird. Yeah, that was a really weird thing to say because why wouldn't they? She kind of seemed to have that same mindset. Like, yeah, well, no shit.
Like, yeah, he's like, "We gotta seal the deal." I mean, and no one said you weren't going to. No one said, "Oh, it just wasn't a thing." I don't know where the hell he pulled that from and out of.
Maybe he didn't hasn't ever gotten laid without being married to somebody.
I don't know. No. Over their time spent together, which has been a day, he said he feels like it's been a whole lifetime. And I don't know if that's a great statement.
Yeah,
Oh God, this but he's like, I mean, it could be like, oh God, it's a day, but it's felt like a
yeah,
lifetime. But
yeah. She says she needs a drink.
yeah, she's got a problem, more than one.
More
I
than
feel like
one.
she's, yeah, also an alcoholic because she keeps asking for liquor. Um, it's just like and when she says it, she gets this like, I need a shot of tequila. And she's like got this like growl to her, like she's.
She may just be one of those people who will take anything that alters your mental state, whether it be alcohol or drugs, or she just needs to not be sober.
We see that happening with Matt because Matt's like, oh, well, at least I'm not doing drugs. And he's just drinking. And I think she's doing this, but it's only been a day. So hang on.
Right. So they say they were supposed to continue filming after the wedding, but when the camera crews arrived in the morning, they found Clint alone in his room crying.
Yep. He's crying on the phone to his mom. Tracy's gone. Tracy's gone. And it's like, it's real weird. Yeah. We'll find out a little more later.
So he is on the phone with his mom, but that's after the producer suggests that he call her on the producer's phone because Tracy took his phone.
Exactly. Yeah. We find out that she took his phone and other things. The car, $100. She did leave some stuff though.
He says he's living a nightmare.
Yeah, there goes the best night of your life with your goddess.
Yeah, I feel bad for him, but I also feel like you walked headfirst into this with your eyes wide open.
Yeah. He's really gonna still go through with everything. He's not gonna give up. He's just not. And at this point I'd be like, see ya.
Yeah. He mentioned a couple times when he was on the phone to his mom, and I thought it was interesting. He's like, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. Well, why would anyone have thought you did anything wrong? What are we missing?
And this has all been what we've speculated on our own in our private conversations about Clint and what his past is. And we don't know yet. But there's things said in another scene that got me questioning.
We go to Matt and Caitlin, and he's doing yard work, sort of.
Yeah, sort of. He's lazy yard working. He tells Caitlin to get into the wheelbarrow and she's like, don't tip me, don't tip me. And then he tips her.
He tells us that life is harder on the outside than it was in jail. And after that, sorry, go ahead.
What's hard? What's hard right now?
Right. You haven't seen hard.
Mm-hmm.
After that quick snippet, we are back to Clint and Tracy, and he keeps telling his mom that everything is fine, and she says she doesn't believe him. I can't imagine why.
Yeah, no, he says she's gone. She left the room he left the room at 5 and he was heartbroken. And she took his phone and car. And I think he meant he was heartbroken because she did crack, but she didn't buy that crack with her money. He had to have given her money. And it's not as if you can take your debit card or credit card to a crack dealer and buy crack.
Right.
And so, how did she get the crack, Clint? I mean,
You could purchase
do that.
something that your dealer would want and then bring that to them. I'm sure that you could find somebody to take trades if you have like a history with somebody. I'm not sure. And I think that's a good point.
This is a very short time period, though. So something happened. He knew what was going on. He's saying things that like make it like she has a crack problem. He knows. He says he fucked up, and I think that he means is he he helped her by get the crack.
Well, I think so. And when we come back to them later in this episode, we find out a little bit more about that points to him having contributed to this, knowingly contributed to it. But one of the best lines of the entire show happens in this episode. And actually, in this scene, his mom is asking, well, what's the problem? And he goes, motherfucking crack, mom.
Wait, what did he say?
Motherfucking crack, mom.
Motherfucking yeah. But I still feel like the way that he's saying things, I didn't do anything. I fucked. It's weird because I'm like, why are you saying the things that you're saying Did you have a problem yourself?
If
What's
he was
going
in
on?
recovery, as has been suggested to us, then that
Yeah.
would make sense. I didn't do anything wrong,
Yeah.
and then allowing her to do, well, we'll get into that.
Yeah, the constant "I didn't do anything wrong" had me.
Yeah, you're an adult. What would you have
Mhm.
potentially done that you would need to report back?
Yeah.
Next, we're back to Megan, Michael, and Sarah. Megan is riding the 30 minutes to the hotel and says it's very romantic. And Joel asked me, what's romantic about riding in a car by yourself?
Yeah, exactly. They're going to Niagara Falls, which would be the romantic part, but she's just riding in a car, and I can tell you right now, that the ride from Buffalo to Niagara Falls is nothing special. And when you get to Niagara Falls, unless you're like right on top of the falls, it's really questionable and it's not a romantic town. It is not a nice place to be unless you're smack dab in the tourist area. Stay there. Don't move outside of that bubble.
Well, she doesn't have very high standards then.
No, it's just the thruway. Literally, she was on the thruway the entire time from Buffalo to Niagara Falls. And there's nothing good except for when you go over the Grand Island Bridge. That's about it. And there's the river.
Michael is still arguing with Sarah. He's still pushing it, still trying to drive it home to make sure that she says, I don't want to be around you. Get away from me. Get out of my face. So he has an excuse to be gone.
Yeah. And he needs to drive to Niagara Falls to see Megan, and that's about an hour and a half drive from where he is. It's a pretty long drive, so he would have had to have a big fight with her, which he did,
Mm-hmm.
and then have to disappear for at least, so you say an hour and a half there, hour and a half back, that's 3 hours. So then, and then whatever time he spends with Megan, so he's gonna have to be gone for a day or
Right.
more.
But that doesn't seem out of Michael's personality. Just disappearing and coming back when he feels like it seems like something that's on par with who he is.
Sarah says she's a good woman and she just wants a good man and good things. Okay, Sarah, then you shouldn't have married him and move on. You know what you've done here. Stop contradicting yourself. Yeah, I believe you are a good woman.
Mm-hmm.
You were a single mom to his child and waited for him while he was in prison. You married him while he's in prison. You're giving him all the full benefit of the doubt now that he's out of prison. This man has cheated on you multiple times and is still cheating on you. Have more self respect and walk away from this man. You should never have married him.
This is her husband, and he drives away while she's in the middle of talking to him. I would
Yeah.
be furious. I would not be in any condition to want you to be coming right back. Go, be gone. But
Yep.
you don't get to walk in whenever he shows back up and just be like, everything's fine. We don't know what happens, but that's what I feel like would happen. Megan asks the driver if he knows what the surprise is. Like, this guy cares about her stupid surprise that doesn't even exist.
Yeah, the surprise I believe is just that he got her a hotel, which she already knew.
He's got to get her someplace, right? Like,
He was going somewhere. He wasn't just going to drop her off at the falls. I mean,
have
she's
sex in the
going
trees at
somewhere.
the falls.
Yeah, she's just sitting at the under a tree having a, picnic. It just she knew she knew she was going somewhere. She could have just asked the driver, "Where are you taking me?" Because then she could have been on her phone googling the hotel that he was bringing her
That's smart. Oh, we're back to Matt and Caitlin. It's his first time in an Uber.
to.
I don't feel like the concept's that tricky to get a hold of, but I guess I could see it's not much different than a cab. It's a little weird.
It's just a personal car
Right.
that someone's got driving you in and they have an app and that's it. There's nothing, it's just yeah. They're again, how who's paying for the Uber? Mom.
Mm-hmm.
They borrowed money from mom to go out to the fancy dinner, so she's paid now. Mom's paid for Uber. She's paid for the dinner. Um, man, I can see why mom's getting pissed. He tells the waiter he just got out of prison, going with the trend of these people just being like not at all embarrassed about their past, just telling strangers things they don't need to know.
They don't want to know. They don't care. He says this is his first date and his first fiance. This is his first date. That surprised me.
Yeah, but we do learn some things from his friend.
Oh yeah, not his first girl, just his first
Yeah,
date.
yeah, we learn from some things. Caitlin is telling Matt how to eat balls and put a napkin on his lap. She's like, take this little plate. You don't eat it off that plate. You put the ball onto the plate, your personal plate, and then you eat it. He's like just chopping into the like shared plate.
The
Napkin on your plate or on your lap so that you don't get shit on your lap. Hello, you've never been to a wedding?
Listen, this is what I thought you were going to pull out first because she tells him to put his napkin on his lap in case food flies out his tooth hole.
I forgot about that. I didn't write that down. Which must be something that's happened if she said that. But I would, do you think?
I guess. I hope not for. I mean, like, if you're missing one bottom tooth, I wouldn't think like a lot because you have your bottom lip there that would catch most of the food. I don't know. If you chew with your mouth open, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. My husband is missing a tooth on the top, in the front, and to the side, and no tooth or no food flies out of his tooth hole, but he
Yeah.
does his mouth shut.
Now you got to ask him when he gets home from work. Does food ever fly out of your tooth hole?
I should just have him chew with his mouth open just to see if we can get food to fly out of his tooth hole.
For science.
It's for an experiment.
He says prison food looks like dog food, and based on the TikToks I have seen of prison food, I believe it.
Yeah, he says it's McFellon's, which I thought was funny. And he says that they get 20 minutes to eat. And I'm like, okay, so that's basically school because you get about 20 minutes to eat at school. It's not like you're not at Disney World. You're not you're in freaking prison. What how much do you want? How much do you think they should give you to eat? I don't need 20 minutes to eat anything.
That's what I was going to say. Like, 20 minutes is about how long it takes to eat anyway, if you're not rushing.
Yeah, but he's acting like as if that's like pure torture, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure every child in every school gets 20 minutes to eat. I just don't need 20, and that's including the time it takes to go through the line to get their food. I remember my kids saying that they had like 5 minutes to eat.
Yeah.
I can definitely down my food in 5 minutes or less.
She asks him if he has any pending charges, and he's like, oh, you never know. And of course, she is super stressed by this answer.
I don't know how any of this works, but I would think they would know or he would know before he gets released, but maybe not because he could have had charges in other jurisdictions, maybe other states, other, I don't know.
I don't know if they have to put a hold on them or if they do like a search before they're released from prison. I have no idea. But he
Yeah,
asks her if she's going to wait for him if he goes back for 7 to 10 years. I don't know where the 7 to 10 years figure came from, but that's what they were using.
it's pretty suspicious to me. And she's like, say, pretty much insinuating that she's not, but we all know she is.
He says he's never going to live his life for someone else. And when he says that, he sounds just like a child. I'm never going to live my life for someone else. You know, grow up.
Yeah, he also says he loves the stuff that comes before prison. He likes being basically a criminal until he has to pay for his crimes,
Right.
and he says he has issues with authority. You think, and that's going to continue into his life. If he can't, he has issues with authority. Well, here's authority: a boss at a job,
Right.
being married and having a wife, children. This
Mm-hmm.
is all authority over you. Yes, children.
having a problem with authority, and he also says meth is a hell of a drug, and he already feels superior, but when he's high he feels even more superior. So you take these two things together, and there's not a lot of places you can end up other than prison.
Where it with this mindset, where do you feel what makes you superior? What makes you superior? What do you have going for yourself now as a 28-year-old man that makes you feel superior? I was so confused and just disgusted by that.
It wasn't a good look. So she asks him if he's going to pay the bill, and he looks at it, and it's like 133 with change. And he says, "No, we're going to dine and dash."
Yeah, and Caitlin says she won't do it, but then she goes with him.
He got pretty forceful. Like he played that role like he was going to do it pretty well. And I don't think she wanted to, but he was grabbing at her also.
But I also think that, again, movie magic, they had a whole crew there recording. It's not just one dude.
Right.
So come on. Again, she knows that they weren't going to actually do it. They're freaking recording a show. He would have so fast gone to jail.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Some stuff that happens like in later seasons, I am shocked that nobody goes to jail. It's on camera. It was recorded. It was a crime and nobody ever does anything about it.
All the people in the place, all the workers were looking, and you know that the crew had set up. So if they just leave, the crew's still there, and they could have been like, "Hey, who's gonna pay that?" I don't know. I don't believe it. I think he definitely was joking, but for Caitlyn to think that they were actually gonna do it was dumb. I know. I
He
don't know.
seemed, I would have believed that he was going to do it based on his reaction or based on his actions. I would say that
He seemed pretty
he seemed
serious.
very serious, and it's not like she knows that he likes to commit crimes. Like he finds it to be fun, I assume. He likes what comes before the crime.
But the fact that she goes with him is like, what? Like, I would have sat there and I would have been like, absolutely not. I'm just sitting here, or I'll call your mom.
But to her credit, she also says that she was so sure that they were right for each other. But after this, she is starting to have some doubts and she's getting concerned that maybe she doesn't know him like she thought she did. So that leads me to believe that this was absolutely real.
Yeah. He's just like acting like a child. He's just acting like a child. Very immature.
We round out this episode with Clint and Tracy, and his mom asked him if he also did crack, and he said no. I don't know if you caught that.
Yes, I did, which is like, okay, I don't have any history with hard drugs at all. And if I were to call my dad and tell him something like this, there would be no way that my dad would say, "Did you also do crack?"
Right.
Because that's not something I've ever been involved with, which this leads me to believe that he maybe not crack, but he has definitely had problems with drugs.
He said crack wasn't his demon, but that didn't specify as
Yeah.
to drugs not being his demon. That could just not be his drug of choice.
And for those words, that wording, crack is not my demon, I would just be like, if someone accused me of it, like, of course I didn't use, I wouldn't have any reason to say that's not my demon. That's a weird statement. It's a loaded statement.
Mm-hmm. It seems like it. He said he knew that she had addiction issues. He just didn't realize they were so bad. And I feel like that is. I don't want to blame anybody, but I mean, also it is his fault. Like she let you know all of these things. She doesn't seem like she's so much being dishonest. He knew she was an addict.
And then if he also is an addict, he then clearly knows that this just doesn't go away. So where is your thought process in being with this woman, knowing she's never gotten help for a clear addiction. You knew all of this. You knew all of this, and yet you still I fully believe he's kind of acting like he didn't know, but I fully believe he did know.
I think he
I think
definitely knew
he
she was an
definitely knew.
yeah, he definitely knew that she was an addict. He said that he fell asleep at 2:30, and that's when he went into the bedroom, and she told him that she wanted more, and that's what upset him. So, this is what I was talking about earlier. I think that he knew that she had the first bit of crack and allowed her to use that. But when she said she wanted more, that was when he got upset. I'm not sure what why the more
Yeah.
part would be so much more devastating than any. Like any crack would be devastating to me.
She could have also said something like, I have this, I just want to use a little bit of it or just whatever's left because this is whatever I have left and I won't use it again after this." And then she wanted more. It could have been something like that. We don't know. He also did say something when he was on the phone with mom that I couldn't hear. And I went back and back and back. When he said, "Mom, I didn't do any." And then he said something after that, which was I couldn't hear.
Oh,
Um, I don't know if you could go back and listen again and see if maybe you could distinguish it.
his mom said, "There's a reason those girls are in prison."
Yeah. Was like on board with this the whole time. No one ever telling him well, I don't want to say no one ever told him. Mom never really was like, "Oh, this is a bad idea. This is a terrible idea."
His dad did.
Mom is yeah, dad did, but mom's just like, "Oh, this is my baby and he can do whatever he wants." Mom says on the phone, "Can we get the phone shut down? You can get the marriage annulled." And he's just like, "I don't want to." And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah. Yeah, he says that he still wants to be with her and he hopes she is okay. What?
Yeah. And you, let's talk about that rental car. You can be like, she could have done anything with it. She could have sold it. She
Yep,
could have given it away. She could have crashed it. She could have abandoned it. He would be on the hook for a lot of money
correct.
and possibly be sued. It depends on what coverages he got on that car when he rented it. But again, like, why are you being so trusting? Like for me, I would have slept with my wallet and my keys and my phone under my damn head.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Why is he being so trusting of this
He's
woman?
in love with her
What is
because she's beautiful.
I
You can
don't
trust
know.
anybody who's beautiful.
She's Yep, she's gorgeous and she's his goddess. Your goddess can't possibly let you down.
Who's your VIP for this week?
It's tough because this was a shitty episode. Everyone was being so shitty. This episode. God, oh, I don't know. Man, I don't know. I don't know if I have one. You tell me yours, I'll think.
My VIP this week is Caitlin for finally seeing a red flag.
Okay, I got it. I'm gonna go with the Uber driver for putting up with someone being like, "Do you know what my surprise is?" No, no, was that an Uber she took or was that a
It was some
because
driver.
it was just a driver.
Yeah.
Okay. So not the Uber driver, the driver that picked her up for just being like, "Look it, lady, I don't know." I think it maybe was like a personal chauffeur service, which you can actually get from just about any cab company. So, yeah, I forgot that it was Michael that took the Uber.
He could have hired, yeah, I don't know. He could have hired somebody off of Facebook or Craigslist.
Yeah. I could have gone with Caitlin for talking about food shooting out of Matt's tooth hole.
Oh, let's do a. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
We also wanted to do a quick update, and because we found out that a bar of soap in prison is the size of a hotel bar. So that makes way more sense about the price on it. And we would like to thank our listener who chimed in with that on our Facebook page. And we encourage you to come on over there and talk to us. Let us know what you think, what you would like to hear.
Yeah, and also we want to do things going forward as we celebrate milestones as far as uh, interaction with our fans, like watch parties, Instagram lives, things like that. And the more interaction we have with you, the more we have people who listen, the more we have people joining our groups, and we're really trying to give you more, but we need your help to get there.
Until next week. So that's about it for this week's episode. If you enjoyed the podcast, head over to Apple or Spotify to rate and review. If you'd like to continue the conversation, join our group on Facebook at Love After Lockup, Locked Down. Listen every Wednesday wherever you find your podcasts and keep those notifications on to be the first to catch bonus episodes.
And in the meantime, don't fall in love.
And don't get locked up.
First date at Walmart, keeping it low. Told the clerk, don't judge me, I'm on parole. I brought roses, okay, 1 rose from a gas station. She said, aw babe, now that's validation. We be vibing in a halfway suite. Microwave dinners, romance elite. She my ride or die, she brought me a phone. Even snuck it in once, pre-release song. She hold me down like a key-o with charm. Except she don't mace me or twist my arm. We write vows in Sharpie on my court docs. Judge said no contact, but we beat the clocks. Love after lockup, cuffed and proud. Matching jumpsuits, now we rockin' the crowd. She said, don't mess up, I said, bet. Now we're TikTok stars with no regrets. So here's the love and second chance thrill. From a concrete bed to Netflix and chill. They said, don't catch feelings, but I caught a case of butterflies, girl, not just in one place. Ankle monitor beep. Oops, curfew gotta bounce.